So this video about it's one gravity drink which is based on whey and whey protein. So let's go, and this is without pictures, just text, because as I always do research, I rely on scientific publications, and I recommend you to download the presentation as PDF file from the link in the description. You will get access to the source information, and some words are explained. If you click on this blue color words, you can understand maybe better the version. Okay, let's go. It's but mind that it is relatively long. The integrity of the epithelium layer and mucus in our guts are crucial for maintaining good health for several reasons. Number one, epithelium, the single layer of cells lining the digestive tract, acts as a physical barrier between the internal environment of our bodies and the external environment. But external environment, it is within our gut. So what is in the gut, it is external environment. It's not our body. This barrier prevents harmful substances like bacteria, toxins, and undigested food particles from entering the bloodstream and causing problems. Number two, the mucus layer produced by goblet cells within the epithelium acts as a first line of defense. It traps bacteria, viruses, and other pathogens, preventing them from directly attaching to the epithelium cells. And the mucus also lubricates the passage of food and waste through the digestive system. Number three, the epithelium layer plays a vital role in our immune response. It contains immune cells that can detect and eliminate pathogens that manage to breach the mucus layer. Additionally, the epithelium of cells themselves can produce antimicrobial substances to further defend against invaders, pathogens. The epithelium is responsible for absorbing essential nutrients, vitamins, minerals, and water from the digested food into the bloodstream. A healthy epithelium ensures efficient nutrient uptake for the body of various functions. The mucus layer and epithelium work together to maintain a healthy balance of gut microbiota, bacteria in the gut. The mucus provides a habitat for beneficial bacteria and helps regulate the microbiome. Sorry. So the epithelium, and the compromised epithelium layer, so-called leaky gut, can lead to an overgrowth of harmful bacteria, disrupting the gut microbiome and potentially contributing to digestive issues and even systemic problems. If the epithelium layer or mucus layer becomes damaged or weakened, it can lead to a cascade of problems such as following. Number one, harmful bacteria and pathogens can invade the body, leading to infections and inflammation. Number two, a compromised epithelium barrier can trigger an inappropriate immune response, potentially leading to autoimmune conditions. Damage to the epithelium layer can hinder nutrient absorption, leading to deficiencies and related health issues. A weakened barrier can contribute to digestive issues like bloating, diarrhea, and constipation. Therefore, maintaining a healthy epithelium layer and mucus production is a primary importance for our health. Okay, probiotics. Sometimes I confuse prebiotics, probiotics. Probiotics, these are beneficial bacteria such as lactic acid bacteria and bifidobacteria can help maintain a healthy gut microbiome and support gut barrier function. Importantly, lactic acid bacteria are prevalent in the small intestine and less abundant in the large intestine. The colon is the last part of the digestive system and the longest part of the large intestine. Bifidobacteria are usually more prevalent in the human large intestine, particularly in the breastfed infants, where they are the dominant genus, although they comprise less than 5–10% of the microbiota in adults. This is a problem. Elderly people suffering from diabetes type 1 and 2, chronic diseases and infectious diseases have in general lower bifidobacteria population. L-lactate is produced during fermentation of lactose by certain bacteria, and especially this lactic acid bacteria and bifidobacteria. Microbiota in the colon cross-feed on lactate and convert it into short-chain fatty acids such as propionate, butyrate, and acetate. Butyrate is especially important. So you see that not only bifidobacteria, but other bacteria also other beneficial bacteria exist in the colon, but they produce short-chain fatty acids. A reduction in colonic pH, so in acidity, caused by production of short-chain fatty acids from lactose to lactate by bifidobacteria is considered to be potentially protective factor in the breastfed infants. This is very important that infants are getting human breast milk or mother breast milk. It plays a crucial role in maintaining tight junctions and barrier integrity among intestinal epithelium cells. Also, a moderate reduction in pH ignites peristalsis of the colon and reduces food transit time. However, in very acidic conditions with pH less than 5.5, that's achieved by continuous lactate infusion, the production of short-chain fatty acids is suppressed and with correspondent changes in the microbiome composition, as some pathogens appear to be able to utilize lactic acid for their own growth. Maintaining a balance between production and utilization of lactate appears to be important for disease prevention. Okay. So lactic acid fermentation also serves critical roles in aerobic glycolysis. This is so-called Warburg effect. You can find more information in my other videos what is Warburg effect. L-lactate, lactic acid, is acting both as mitochondrial fuel to support cell growth and as a signaling molecule that regulates immune responses and cellular homeostasis. L-lactate, or further it is just lactate, acts as a nutrient in energy-dense environment and a signal molecule to shift immune cells from pro-inflammatory to reparative phenotypes, balancing growth with metabolic demands. In particular, lactate may reduce glycolysis rates in macrophages and release of the inflammatory cytokines. Lactate has direct anti-inflammatory effects in inhibiting the production of inflammatory cytokines and promoting the production of anti-inflammatory cytokines, and so modulating the immune response in the gut. In addition to promoting angiogenesis, this is a growth of new blood vessels, lactate has also been shown to stimulate collagen production in fibroblasts, highlighting the critical role of fibroblasts in extracellular matrix synthesis during wound healing. Lactate in drinking water suppresses colitis in mice, promoting epithelium cell migration and repair. Research suggests that lactate from fermented foods may help reduce inflammation of the intestinal epithelium barrier. However, lactate in foods may not directly interact extensively with the gut microbiome and epithelium in the colon after digestion, as most of it is absorbed in the small intestine to serve as energy source for the cells lining this epithelium layer, supporting their function and integrity. Okay, now we're getting more specific. Whey is a byproduct of cheese production. It is derived from liquid whey, which is separated from the curds during cheese making. For acid coagulated cheeses, they use some phosphoric acid, for example, strong acids. The ratio is approximately 10 liters of whey per 1 kilo of cheese. Depending on the processing technology, 50-60% of milk dry matter ingredients pass into whey. This liquid is used widely in baking and dairy products and as an additive in food processing. Whey is rich in many minerals, vitamins B and proteins, so these water-soluble vitamins, which are very beneficial. There are two main types of byproducts or byproduct whey. Sweet whey from hard cheeses like cheddar with pH 5.9, 6.3, and acidic whey from yogurt or cottage cheese with pH 4.3, 4.6. Whey can be dried to powder, and the whey powder contains 70-75% lactose and trace amount of some minerals, a trace amount of trace amount of fat. Trace amount of fat. Whey was primarily used for animal feed, and only 25% of whey is used for direct human consumption. For example, whey protein concentrates in food products, functional drinks, fat protein additives, and dietary products. Whey protein is a complete protein containing all 9 essential amino acids, including leucine, that is necessary for muscle protein synthesis, as the process of building and repairing muscle tissue. Whey protein is absorbed faster compared to other protein sources, like casein found in milk and cheese. Consuming milk or yogurt with added whey powder within 1-2 hours after resistance exercise can provide a readily available source of amino acids to kickstart muscle repair and improve muscle growth. Enzyme lactase break down lactose in whey protein to glucose and galactose, which are absorbed across the intestinal lining of the small intestine and go to the bloodstream and transported to cells throughout the body. Galactose is slowly metabolized in the liver to glucose without requiring insulin, making it diabetic-friendly sugar. Galactose helps to replenish glycogen stores in the liver and muscles more efficiently after the intense exercise. Galactose promotes oxidative metabolism, so-called oxidative phosphorylation in mitochondria, and mitochondrial function, encouraging the body to use fat and oxygen for fuel rather than creating fat deposits. Therefore, it is considered useful for supporting a ketogenic diet or fasting. It is a component of glycoproteins and glycolipids in connective tissues and is involved in collagen formation that in collagen formation, which support skin elasticity and vascular health. Galactose is a key substrate for creating cerebrocytes, gangliosides, and mucoproteins, which are essential for production of myelin. Myelin, it is a protective coating of nerves, and it is important for efficient signal transmission. Chronic daily injection of galactose were used to induce aging in animal models, like in mice and rats, provoking oxidative stress, inflammation, and cellular senescence. There are a lot of publications on it, and then this has led to some doubt about the health effects of dietary lactose and galactose, and consequently the health effects of milk. So this is why some medical professionals and even carnivore diet enthusiasts recommend not to consume milk. However, this effects of galactose in aging is seen only in animal studies where the galactose was given subcutaneously by injections. Oral admission of galactose have shown beneficial effects on learning and memory ability in rats, with galactose doses ranging from 100 to 300 milligram per kilo of body weight per day. This is a lot, okay. Even a lot of galactose orally only work better. Additionally, oral galactose likely aid to providing an energy source to brain cells, fueling them independently of insulin in the blood. Okay, so fermented milk beverages are an excellent source of probiotic bacteria and have nutritional and medicinal properties. If whey powder is added to milk before fermentation, it helps to increase the viscosity, firmness, and texture of yogurt, which can extend the shelf life. The addition of whey protein improved, Okay, so the addition of whey protein improved viscosity and structure of yogurt products. A content of only 0.8% of whey protein shortened fermentation time for the product by 12.5%, so it is really good. And active bacteria in the yogurt aid in the digestion of lactose, allowing it to be broken down before reaching the colon. Then, okay, that's bacteria work even, that's not only yogurt, they also work in small intestine. Combining yogurt with whey milk powder can potentially increase the fermentation of lactose by lactic acid bacteria in the small intestine. Okay, you see? So it is again why it is beneficial to use yogurt mixed with whey powder or whey protein powder. Yogurt often contains active cultures of lactic acid bacteria and bifidobacteria. Whey protein can serve as, so this is a small flies. Whey protein can serve as protective matrix for yogurt bacteria, helping them survive the acidic environment of the stomach to reach the upper small intestine. While this combination is excellent for digestion the lactose in the yogurt mixture, it may not be sufficient to significantly break down large amounts of additional lactose. The benefit of lactose digestion in the small intestine are largely lost if the yogurt is pasteurized, as the bacteria and the enzymes in the yogurt are destroyed. From the small intestine, the undigested lactose passes to the colon, where it is metabolized by intestinal flora, producing short-chain fatty acids and gases, primarily hydrogen, carbon dioxide, and methane. So lactic acid bacteria and bifidobacteria are considered some of the most important lactose-digested bacteria in the gut. Real consumption of fermented dairy, especially probiotic yogurt with live cultures, can improve lactose digestion compared with unfermented milk and increase the population of bifidobacteria in the colon. Lactic acid bacteria and bifidobacteria can ferment lactose without producing excessive gas, unlike some other bacteria, thereby reducing digestive discomfort. The dietary supplementation with lactose increases intestinal lactic acid bacteria and bifidobacteria and production of butyric acid, which is again very important for health of our gut, but also even for health of our brain. It exerts a protective effect on colonic mucosal integrity and early immune system development, promoting favorable intestinal colonization. The products have also this fermented products of fermentation have anti-inflammatory properties. Okay, newborn human babies, I mean infants, fed human breast milk are in a state of mild ketosis despite a high concentration of lactose, 7% in human breast milk. In my video, you can watch two videos from 2023. I proposed modifying our diet to mimic human breast consumption and staying in mild ketosis from infancy to adulthood as the way to increase human longevity. Goat milk is generally considered to be closest animal milk to human breast milk, and goat milk contains only 4.5 lactose, while cow milk has up to 5%. But what is interesting, the Abkhazia people who are living in the northwestern Caucasus and consuming dairy products from goat milk have lifespan reaching up to 150 years or more, compared to white wheat bread, to just bread. Lactose possesses a low glycemic index, only 46, and causes no dental caries in rats, and therefore it is considered safe for teeth. High blood glucose levels are involved in protein glycation, the non-enzymatic reaction between glucose or other reducing sugars like fructose also, and an amine group from free amino acids or proteins. And also, initial glycation of molecules is reversible. Irreversible complexes called advanced glycation end products accumulate with age. Advanced glycation end products are associated with diabetes, obesity, cardiovascular disease, kidney disease, cognitive decline, and also stiffening of our skin and tissues. Regular consumption of high glycemic index carbohydrates, which substantially increase blood glucose level, enhances the formation of advanced glycation end products and accelerate aging. This is what I always was talking. If your diet is based on these carbohydrates, your aging is accelerated. Also, high consumption of fructose, which is primarily metabolized in the liver, contributes to the accumulation of advanced glycation end products in organs and increases the risk of non-alcoholic fatty liver disease in vivo, in animals, but also in humans. We may add whey milk powder to cow milk to adjust lactose content to 7%. So it's at least to make it closer to human breast milk, and increase the ratio of protein to fat. Casein in dairy products from cow milk can trigger an immune reaction that shares features with autoimmune responses in sensitive and allergic individuals. Again, especially if you have leaky gut, casein can make this autoimmune response. Therefore, some proponents of a carnivore diet suggest limiting or avoiding dairy products. Fermentation of cow milk breaks down the primary allergen, which is casein, into smaller peptides, making it easier to digest. The soft gel structure and acidity of yogurt help break down proteins in the stomach, also in the production of yogurt and cheese. Fermentation generally makes casein less allergenic to humans, up to 90% less allergenic, so it's 10 times, compared to raw or in unfermented cow milk. Lactose can enhance intestinal barrier efficiency in the case of sufficient passage of undigested lactose from the lower intestine into the lower intestine. Many of the beneficial effects of lactose can be linked to the formation of short-chain fatty acids from lactose, which serves locally as energy source for the gut microbiota and the cells of the intestinal wall. Second, confer a protective effect on colonic mucosal integrity. 3, exert a beneficial effect on early immune development. And 4, are used as energy source following absorption and transport to the liver. Okay, so again, so lactic acid is good. Okay, especially butyric acid. In particular, butyrate plays a crucial role in maintaining intestinal epithelium homeostasis and promoting epithelium repair after mucosal injury by some food, and proliferation of the intestinal epithelium cells. So, okay. Again, I a little bit repeat what I was expressing in my video. You have links, so that why some animals are aging so slow and what we can do. We have to adjust our diet to be closer to these long-living animals, like naked rats and bats, for example. They live much longer, about 20 times longer than mice of the same size. And so this is one example, but we can also rely on insects. Some insects living much longer with the same genetics, like royals in termites and ants and bees. Naked rats are characterized by unusual longevity. This is 5 times longer, actually 10 times longer than expected on the basis of body size, coupled with unexplained resistance to aging. The membranes of long-living larger mammals have fewer polyunsaturated fatty acids. This is very important also. Compared to short-living mice, naked rats' brain lipids are rich in cholesterol. Again, you see, production of cholesterol from human breast milk is an important factor of brain development in infants. So again, cholesterol is of primary importance for our brain, and not only brain, everything. It's red blood cells, and all our body need cholesterol. So mice in the cellular membranes have 9 times more DHA, which this is polyunsaturated fatty acids, than naked rats, and this polyunsaturated acid is more susceptible to liquid peroxidation and accumulation of these degradation products of oxidation. And these products accumulate in the walls of large arteries, for example, leading to arteriosclerosis, etc. Oxidation-resistant membrane phospholipids potentially contribute to the unique longevity of naked rats. It is interesting that young naked rats, which are consuming starchy tubers and using glucose as the main source of energy, are aging like normally, but the process of aging slows down in older naked rats, which rely mostly on short-chain fatty acids and middle-chain fatty acids as energy source. You see, change of the diet is changing the speed of aging and make these animals long-living. So the young naked rats, they are like mice. Or no, not mice, but they consume starchy tubers, not seeds at least, but yet it is not good. Relying on glucose as the main source of energy is not healthy. Short-chain fatty acids and medium-chain fatty acids are produced in bacterial fermentation of starches. Naked rats do not show increased mortal rates, age-related functional decline, such as muscle loss, bone density loss, or brain degeneration, or increased incidence of cancer as they get older. This again, how diet is changing everything. Older naked rats often appear biologically indistinguishable from younger ones, maintaining high metabolic and fertility rates until close to death. The widely accepted oxidative stress theory of aging postulates that aging results from accumulation of oxidative damage. Surprisingly, naked rats have high level of oxidative stress because they live in conditions of hypoxia, and it leads to oxidative stress. But surprisingly, they have relatively short telomeres and accumulation of lipofuscin pigments in skin and in organs also, but no sign of carcinogenesis, no sign of higher rate of cancer. Proteins and DNA in naked rats are highly stable and resistant to oxidation. Epigenetic logs revealed that breeding naked rats individuals age more slowly than non-breeders. Okay, then again, why? We will think this breeding, this queen of the naked rats colony is consuming only short-chain fatty acids and medium-chain fatty acids. This queen is not consuming starches. Only young individuals, young naked rats consume starch. Okay, then we go to this. Human breast milk is a rich source of medium-chain fatty acids, comprising approximately 10 to 35% of total fatty acids. Heavy fat cream and butter from cow milk, goat milk, and coconut oil are sources of medium-chain fatty acids. Meanwhile, short-chain fatty acids can be produced by beneficial bacteria in the colon from resistant starch, from these prebiotics, from resistant starch, cocoa powder, mushrooms, lactose, and polycarbohydrates, which are not digested in the thin intestine. The intake of dairy products by older people may improve the health of the elderly and reduce the risk of sarcopenia by improving skeletal muscle mass. Regular drinking of yogurt containing lactic acid and whey proteins works synergistically with endurance exercise to improve arterial elasticity and endothelium function in the blood vessels. Whey protein supplementation at 54 grams per day for 12 weeks reduced blood pressure by 4% in overweight individuals. Okay, let's go again. Insulin is a hormone that regulates glucose uptake by cells, lipid production in adipose tissue, protein synthesis, and glycogen storage in muscles. Intake of lactose in whey protein would increase glucose and insulin level, not so much as other carbohydrates, but yet it will increase. So, and insulin has vasodilatory effects in precapillary in small arteries, especially in skeletal muscle tissue, to increase blood flow to skeletal muscles and promote muscle growth and inhibit protein breakdown in muscle tissue. This is why bodybuilders use injections of insulin sometimes. Insulin stimulates nitric oxide synthase, this enzyme, and increases the release of nitric oxide from the vascular endothelium to cause vasodilation. Vasodilation, it is getting arteries wider. Also, insulin and capillaries, all blood vessels. Pardon. Also, insulin increases the proliferation of vascular smooth muscle cells and growth of new blood vessels. However, chronic high concentration of glucose and insulin in the blood, this is so-called hyperglycemia and hyperinsulinemia, accelerate blood vessel stiffening and this development of sarcopenia and aging. So, but again, if you consume it once a day, some yogurt with whey protein or whey milk powder, it's only beneficial. So from the information presented above, we may conclude that using whey milk powder as an additive to yogurt and hot milk would be beneficial for health and longevity. Consumption of too much whey milk powder may lead to excessive gas production and osmotic diarrhea. Therefore, amounts of whey milk and whey milk powder are a matter of personal choice. Also, it is preferable not to combine whey milk powder with solid foods. For example, yogurt with whey milk powder, coffee or cocoa powder with hot milk and whey protein can be consumed in the morning, not together with solid foods, or just drinking. Additionally, lion mane mushroom powder can be added to hot milk. I consume hot milk after exercises. And polysaccharides, especially beta-glucans and lion mane powder, turn the drink into some viscous substance, not gel exactly, but viscous substance, and reduce digestion of lactose in upper gastrointestinal tract. In the protocol of my longevity diet, you can watch again my video for details. In the morning, I drink yogurt with whey powder and instant coffee with hot milk and whey powder. So I drink yogurt with whey milk powder and instant coffee with hot milk, and milk also powder, whole milk powder and whey protein, whey milk powder together, and so it's also some lion mane powder, lion mane mushroom powder. Also, I eat some butter to ensure that I am in state of ketosis, butter or coconut oil. Mega doses of ascorbic acid in the morning work as a mild laxative and help to clean my intestine before a long and intense aerobic exercise in the afternoon. Normally I go cycling and swimming, and so I go for about 4 hours in total, 5-6 times a day, a week. So maybe after 4 times, going 4 times in a row, my muscles accumulate some, they are already damaged, and I need a rest day, but normally muscles grow very well. I mean, with swimming, local swimming pool was long closed, so I was going on cycling, and my muscles in the upper part of my body became a little bit weaker. So I consume solid foods like meat, fish, and boiled eggs only for dinner in the late afternoon, about 5 o'clock p.m. During the dinner, I also drink hot milk with whey protein or whey protein. Again, whey protein, you have to hot milk with whey milk powder. Whey milk powder, I take this, hot milk. But whey protein I consume separately. I consume it with cold water and up to 50 grams. So consuming whey powder and whey protein up to 50 grams daily helps me to recover after exercise faster and grow muscles. Okay, so why I started to do it? Because suddenly the prices went up in Thailand. So I give prices which were a little bit before, but now it's okay. Okay, let's go. Prices per kilo with delivery in Thailand with a discount also. I buy during the discount. Are following: whey milk powder about $4 American. Whey protein concentrate $22 American. Whole milk powder, which I also use instead of raw milk, it is $6.64 American, and lion mane powder, it is $31.22 American. And so you can compare with pork. Like minced pork is about 100 to 130 Thai baht per kilo, or 3 of up to 4 American dollars per kilo. Minced pork typically contains about 20-26 grams of protein per 100 gram. Dry whey milk powder derived from cow milk typically contains 11% up to 14.5% of protein. So prices for protein in whey milk powder are about the same as for proteins in whey protein concentrate, a little bit more expensive than dry protein in pork. But considering that health benefit of lactose as prebiotic, it is worthwhile to use whey milk powder to yogurt. Recently, the prices for whey protein concentrate, which is normally consumed, went 2 times higher. So not 700, but 1,800 baht, 1,600 baht. So it is. So I don't buy it now. I wait before it the price will go down. But again, meanwhile, I consume more meat, like this. So, but whey protein powder is okay. It's only, again, if you consume too much, you will get problems with gas production. But it is in the morning. It is not big deal. Not big deal, actually. It is not stinking gases. These are just carbon dioxide, methane, and hydrogen. So you can go to the source of information to make your own research. Don't rely on my opinion, because I'm doctor of science and I do this project, this research, mostly for myself, because I don't expect that people will appreciate it. Some people tell me that, okay, when you will be 75 years old, I'm now 69, they say if you will be 75 and you will be strong and energetic, with good energy and everything, then we may believe you. But now they believe some people like David Sinclair, and who are promoting some pseudo scientific information about rejuvenation of cells with Yamanaka factor, which is again only dangerous. And they claim that they get rejuvenation maybe 20, 30 years, 20 years at least. But this again, these measurements of the biological age are not reliable. The use of epigenetic clock, for example, gives estimation of biological age plus minus 20%. So, and okay, if they measure, and if they, for example, they inject the stem cells into your body, and then after the injection of stem cells, they estimate the biological age of your body. It's like estimate biological age of your cells, but with a lot of stem cells injected, and stem cells are by definition young. And then they say, oh, you have on average biological age of your cells reduced. Okay, but it has no connection to biological age of your body, absolutely no connection. I will discuss it a little bit in other videos about what we can use to estimate biological age of the body, very easy and cheap, and how to see the impact of the diet or some medications or some procedures on your body. For example, I will talk about this in more details in next video, but again, it's very important not to think and maybe to make your own research to understand what is rejuvenation and can we indeed live 100, not 100 years, but 1,000 years. Yes, it is possible. If we just take this information from nature, nature teaches us that living 10 times or 20 times longer than, with no change of genetics, with no this, nothing of this Yamanaka factor. It is just diet. This change of the diet make you long-living individuals, very long-living individuals. And it is affordable. It is very affordable. Again, I spend more money on food and cooking food for my dogs than on myself. It is again, I stay here, and in Thailand you can live with low income, especially compared to locals. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something new. If you have questions, please leave them in the comment section below. So I also don't forget to press like and bell buttons, at least it is free, and it is to support my channel, and share this video with your friends and family. Again, I am not much, don't expect much benefits by making this video for public access. I do this research mostly for myself, but some people use my recommendations and again on their own risk, and they see huge improvement of the health. And I'm quite good, but again, stay away from medical professionals. This I highly recommend. I can talk about this later in details, but again, much information is available now about side effects of some treatments. Okay, so be careful. The best you can do, you can stay healthy, absolutely healthy, and stop aging, or maybe even go to rejuvenation. Have a wonderful day. Ciao, ciao.